Consolidation final underway here in ESL Challenger League Season 45. MIBR and Atk. Only one of these teams can move on for a matchup against EG.
Who will it be? Can Atk overcome MIBR for the first time this year is the question, because they haven't been able to do so yet. Last losing in the Gamers 8 Open qualifier, 0-2, but they did have an overtime on Inferno. My triple overtime loss, 23-25, as Swisher is going to get the opening frag on BRN.
Oh, this is good. This is a B-split. This is a tough spot. The library player can do something about this, but if he drops, if Henny goes down here, there's nothing really else to save Exit. It's all on his shoulders, and Henny is gone, and so goes Exit as well. Faster for MIBR. They just can't win any of these fights. Finally, something for MisteM, but he's going to have to do all the work in the world. And look at Rack. Rack's even coming in for the flank. Rack's going to try and pinch him on in. And Sonny might even just want to save his armor, but Rack does not want to entertain the possibility. Nice read from MisteM. I know this flank's coming through, but in taking that fight and taking that kill, he's conceded the round.
Yeah, there wasn't much chance anyway after he lost all his teammates, so he gets one frag, and at least he saves the armor. They're still hunting from Atk, and why not? It's pistol round. Gotta try and find him, and there could be another fight on our hands before all is said and done. Swisher, along with MisteM. Talked about them in the pregame. Two of the star fraggers here. They are like ships in the night. They go right past each other, say, what's going on? And, okay, Swisher spotted out MisteM. Does he finally go down? No, he lives. He keeps the armor.
Both live. A duel with no conclusion.
Yeah.
Maybe a rematch into this round, but not much doing for MIBR. So not much investing. Actually, they're going all the way in. Never mind. Didn't think this was going to happen. They are right into it. Nades. 3. 4. All right. We're getting a nade stack.
Are we?
No, they're leaving them outside of church. So I guess these nades are mostly going to be deployed here towards Banana. Exit just giving him the possibility to dump artillery downrange. And then one's been picked back up by BRN. So I'm a little confused here. Extra utility has been given to Exit to enable the A stack. Where the nades are, well, I don't exactly know. First one doesn't land. First salvo, not connecting. The question is, does Atk call this bluff over towards the B site? Because if they do, once again, Exit is going to be very much on an island.
It doesn't look like they have yet, but they're not fully committed towards the A site, right? They're just throwing some util. Maybe they're going to have a peek and see what's going on here. If they realize there's so many players here, they might not go, but Swisher gets 2, and MisteM gets that back, though. Hold on a second. Wolfy, great response. 3v2. Now, no one's on the site. They're rotating around. Atk could just bail and go back to B, but they want to take this fight.
This is wild. They're committing to this. I mean, the maximum it can be 2 players now because there are 2 left. But they're just going to fight everything, and Exit is over here. Bomb will be planted. They know exactly where he's coming from, so if he tries to fade the smoke, that will not be permitted. And Jonji is Jonjiing early in this one.
There's no kill that Jonji will get where he won't just completely deplete his clip. Or magazine, excuse me. But yeah. Ay. Jonji. Gotta settle down sometimes, but no. Jonji only has 1 gear and it's go.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's attempt to tilt the opponent too.
Yes. I don't mind it. It's his style.
His opponent certainly might, though. We'll see if MIBR get a little revenge here. Not much to do with it. 1 deep. That's it. Where did that HE go? How did MisteM not get touched by that HE? What?
I think it just hit the wall and didn't go right into boiler, or he was, I don't know. HEs are weird. Rex going to get the headshot onto MisteM, and that's A site completely opened up. This was a stack on B for MIBR because they only have the pistols, and the round is over.
Yeah, I mean, certainly no chance of contesting at this. MIBR went for the classic triple up the USPs, have a little, like, tumbling tower of mediocre pistols, and just pray that someone walks right into your crosshair and you can erase them. It's a good bet in a full pistol round. There's nothing wrong with this setup. But now it requires that someone come hunting, and frankly, the only person who should is probably Swish. So they'll play a bit of contain. Swisher will go looking with that SMG to see what he can find. Like to make some money. But the range of this particular fight may not behoove him to some extra cash gain.
Ooh,
Spot on 1.
Nice shot.
I think he's figuring this out. He's puzzling it together where these players have got to be. And he'll get nothing. All right. So 1 kill found. SMG not exactly valuable, but MIBR do deny the money going back the other way.
Yeah, the SMG is just going to end up on the ground, I would think, and they're going to upgrade to rifles, and there it is. Yep, no SMG. So Swisher knew the risk he was taking was well within reason, and, well, although he doesn't build up money, it doesn't really matter in the long run for ATK. 3-0 in their favor, and now MIBR are going to get their full-on buy-up, and this is when MIBR gets most dangerous, of course. Look at their stats in terms of leaders on the squad. We already talked about Henny and his ridiculous contribution, but you also have BRN leading the team with 128 frags and an 84.3 ADR, number 3 in the league. But a quick play from ATK? Maybe? No. They postured themselves to top of Banana, but a Molotov slows them up. Great flashbang thrown. BRN could get one. There it is.
Trade? Not available yet. Nade. Oh my goodness, it's a massacre top Banana. A slaughter here. Absolute shutdown on the B take. Now, what do you do if you're ATK? How do you rally off of this one? I mean, damage will be valuable if you can find it. But that's going to be tough. Jonji, still slamming himself forward, will be caught. That was bold, to say the least. Speaking of bold, BRN does have the presence of mind to realize he might have just jumped past the player. Wolfy's got 2. Can't win the round because he's not got the bomb. It's going to be a long trip to try and retrieve that C4, but he's at least keeping this for being clean for MIBR.
Alrighty. Well, that was a decisive first gun round for MIBR. Shutting down ATK. 3 players go down in the first 20 seconds or so.
It's kind of that classic, though, right? Just getting a sense of the pace of play. Utilities perfectly timed and placed. You set up the fights. You make them easy for yourself, and BRN executes.
Yep. BRN got the opener, but it was actually Exit following up right after throwing the utility. He comes out and supports BRN, so it was a really good job by the IGL as they've become accustomed to. Exit gets another one, and he drops wreck. What is happening here? That was on 2 different sides of the map. I think MIBR challenged towards mid and then got the player who was looking to make his way to top Banana. Yeah. So that is a very good start.
That was Jonji flying into the fight, and Henny doing much the same on the other side of the map. So the ultimate peak works out. The player T-Ramp even spots the barrel, but just can't communicate in time to keep his teammate alive. So, big coup here for MIBR again. ATK maybe going to have to change this one up. Can't find a bomb plant in this round. Be a little while before they're back in the driving seat. B is not settled. There's a lot of utility to work with here. A quick shot into exit could open this round right back up. And there it is. There's that quick shot. Here comes the utility around. BRN trying to play the angles. Needs to be flashed up. Trade 1 for 1. Gap in that smoke. Gap in that smoke. Not punished. Wolfy actually might want to play off that gap. He's going to plant the bomb. Swisher wants to get the forward positioning, thinking they might not anticipate it. And it... Whoa! And he didn't, but he flicks. He's so quick. Blistering pace out of this one. A clutch on deck for Wolfy. What do you got for us, Wolfy? On the line. Looking for the first. And he'll have it. But MisteM right back at the same angle. Puts him on notice. Can't escape. No mercy from MisteM. No pace slowdown. And a bomb defused. But this now creates a really interesting question for ATK. Right? The money's not good. But you can put a little behind this. And on the other side, there's vulnerability for MIBR.
Yeah, a little bit. Shouldn't be too bad. They did lose 3 players, so they're going to have to reinvest across those 3, and that means that it is a possibility for ATK to risk it. No. But I would say they're in the lead. They don't really have to panic here and go with the pistols, which is what they're going to do. 3 Deagles, the Tech 9, and the P250 come through for them. And if you look at the last match, though, for MIBR, guess who the top frag was? MisteM. Yes, he was, yeah. MisteM at 31 and 16 with a 93.1 ADR, and that was in a 14-16 loss. He dropped 31.
Pretty reminiscent. I watched a team over in EU lose a map with a player dropping 38.
Oh my god, that is, it's the worst feeling when
They
you're
won the
that
series,
player.
though, so it's all good. All's well that ends well.
Yeah, true.
But, yeah, that was insane that they didn't manage to capitalize. It was Donk over on Spirit Academy. That kid, he's 16. He's going to be the next big thing, man. Actually,
That's a
wild
bold call.
how good he is right now. Player out! Bit of a moment there, but Insani corrals it. Clean with the spray. And so that arch push goes nowhere. Said it's going to be about this banana fight. If they get the... Whoa. I mean, there was a chance, right? Pretty isolated player, but a solo dolo play with no utility, not going to work very often. Swisher. Connecting. Swisher. Doing damage onto Insani. He's got the kill. We're not done yet. We're not done. Swisher's got a gun. And he's in the back line. BRN's ready for this. Dink onto Breno, but... What can Jonji do? One more connection with the Tech 9, and he's got a bomb plant. That would be such a coup in this round. But I don't know if he realizes how far BRN's gotten back. And he's looking for this kill, and he's not got a lot of time. He's not got a lot of time. One extra kill will be great for limiting the economy. Now he's spotted, but he can't land this shot. That was a huge chance that Swisher gave over. Jonji just couldn't quite capitalize.
Yeah, and Insani just too good there playing that angle. And I mean, I talked about it in the pregame, but the contrast between Pain and MIBR is that MIBR are functioning as intended. You know, the young guns are popping off. The supporting cast is more than that. They are almost equal to Insani and BRN in terms of their performances. And Pain, it's the opposite. You know, Skulls along with Zevi not really playing to their potential throughout these playoffs. And I mean, we're seeing it here. So MIBR, it's going to be a tough challenge for Atk to knock them out of these playoffs. But yes, they did pick up the first 3 rounds. They need to show something on the gun rounds, though. That's the important part. And you're hoping that you don't see another result similar to what happened on Nuke for Atk in the last BO3, where they lost 3-16 against MIBR. Turtle. Mr. Headshot. Looking for some of those. Might have a fight with Rek, and he does soon. Rek actually takes down Insani before Turtle sees him. Good angle played by Rek, and the smoke's going to come in to force him off of that angle potentially. But Turtle loses the fight against MisteM, and now Atk are going to be able to charge in. Penny waiting, and he's trying to get the shot with the AWP, and he won't. Switcher drops him. BRN trying to make some heroics work, but that's not going to happen. Jonji takes him down. 4v1 in favor of Atk, and that's all she wrote for MIBR in the round.
It is indeed. I mean, that was a reinforced site as well. Now it's trouble on for MIBR because, as we've been talking about in these last few, they've been taking a lot of casualties, right? The money hasn't been great. There'll be a little bit in the tank for Insani, BRN, and Henny, but minimum loss bonus coming through. 1,400 built on top of that. It's maybe going to be some deagles into this round. Fortunately for them, it's not going to be a double eco. Provided they don't chase this by, they're actually going to have a pretty good one into the following round. So it's a little bit less of a sting for MIBR, but still a prime time to find a round if you're Atk.
No, absolutely. I was just mentioning it, right? The fact they need to get a gun round on the board, and they didn't waste any time. Next chance they get that round secured. So 4-3 in their favor.
I wonder if this one-stick rifle is going to coax them into a bit more of an investment.
I would say... probably not. I'm thinking pistols are going to come through. MIBR tend to be pretty conservative in these types of situations.
Yeah. And if Insani saves here, 1900, he can actually drop an AWP. Picks up a P250. He's still fine, actually. Well, he'd have to glass cannon it, right? Math? Quick math?
Yes, that's correct.
Unless he gets a kill. And with Insani, he's confident he can get a kill. Actually, what am I talking about? Henny has plenty of money. Didn't realize Henny was so cash flush. So that'll be where the AWP comes through. Insani is A-okay to buy this.
Yeah. I thought you were trying to infer the double op setup, though.
No. Yeah. Way too early for that. Way too early. And it'd be BRN. Yeah, way too early for that. No way.
Oh, BRN. He's got a chance here. Swisher walking through, and no. Missed him. There's another one here. The second? No, Turtle. That's a good frag to find. Thing is, Atk already have the site, so probably done. But exit with the A1 or something. Thing is, he's so out of position.
Saves. going to be valuable enough, unless Turtle somehow pulls out another thing. That's cheeky, though. Not often you see the double flower pots boost, right? I mean, the flip side is if they just spam the angle, they might accidentally kill two, which is the risk, which is why you don't see teams deploy it all the time. But that round, it certainly catches Atk massively off guard.
Yeah, for sure. And Turtle's going to hang around. He's got nothing to lose. Right? Just a USP. If he gets another frag, it's great. Insani gets chased down by Rek and Swisher looking around this corner. He wants to find Turtle, but Turtle, well, he's doing what turtles do best, and he's tucking into his shell. Okay.
Right. I hate flower pot.
Yeah. And
Jonji dies to the bomb?
Yep.
Somebody's tell him new bomb radiuses. Well, that's a little bit of expense that didn't need to be spent. It's not ideal here for Atk. We'll see if it comes back to haunt them. A little odd there. But for MIBR, a lot invested into this one. Chips pushed into the middle of the table. Op out for Henny, as we previously pointed out. Let's see where Henny's getting activated. In towards the apartments. Looking for that hall shot. And he might get it. Rek's coming his way. Fight Banana, though, in the meantime, burning alive. Goodbye, Jonji. Damage back the other way, but Henny found his kill on the other side of the map, and this is looking phenomenal for the Brazilians. Everything hits. Rek gone as the lurk. Henny putting him on notice for the future as well. And now what do you do if you're ATK? A 2v5 to try and recover, to try and rally. They have found the players a little softened up, but a slow walk in, not going to be the antidote here. This is an unblemished round.
Yeah, the thing is, you know, Jonji's going for a lot of entries on the T side for ATK throughout these playoffs. 30.8% of the team's attempts for opening duels lie in his hands. The problem is, well, usually it goes the way you just saw. Only 39% of the times is he successful with his attempts on opening duels. T side, that is. CG side's better, but still, it gets one note. I think that's the problem. Jonji's always just kind of pushing out very aggressively at the beginning of the round, and if you're ready for it, usually you can shut that down.
Ooh! Alright, Wolfy. There's your opener. That's a little bit of the initiative out of the opera. This is something we weren't getting so much of last night, but you like to see it. Taking down MisteM on the other side as well is a nice find early. And they're not going for the banana fight, right? Which is also good to see. Sometimes ATK can get a bit dogged in trying to go for that top banana fight every round. And this time, they want to bait at the utility. They want to go a little bit slower. Let develop from the other side first. Henny on the angle. He's got the AWP. Jonji out of play, but they're chasing this. Henny just cleaning him up. Two found. Numbers equalized, but there's no one else here in the defense. If a cross smoke goes in, there's going to be little that MIBR can do about this. Attempted spam, but the shot's not landing, and BRN now tagged up. Nice play from Swisher. He'll find the kill through smoke. And they've got Rek on the flank to confirm no one's rotated this direction, so they can be confident about which way this retake is coming, and it's not coming at all now. Exit down for the count. A huge round from Wolfy, the opener, and the closer as well to seal the deal.
Yeah, well done from Wolfy. I mean, using the op on T-side Inferno is not the easiest tasks, and oftentimes you see teams not even run it, but Wolfy is doing a great job. Found the opener, like you mentioned, and then shut the door on the fourth player to challenge. Turtle, again, just tucking into a corner, trying to save. Will be challenged by Swisher, who, I mean, he's the MVP for ATK no matter what happens in this series throughout not only the playoffs, but the regular season as well. He is their best player. It's so scary to go up against him, right, if you're the opposition, especially in clutch situations, because he is very good in the 1vx's. 7 1vx's that he's won just in the playoffs here. Timeout going to be called? That's MIBR, Mike.
Looking for a financial decision here. How are they best going to spread the wealth? Because there's going to be issues. And they got to make sure, on a map like Inferno, you got to make sure the nades are in the right place. Specifically for that banana fight. Most of all. Henny with the op, though. That's the one I want to go on board with. That's the one I want to think about here because he's the kind of player who can just swing this round right off the rip. We've already seen him go for the aggro mid peaks. The ult mid shot. The Halls pop. Is he taking the big green in this one? Looking like the Halls fight again, perhaps?
That's...
Get it right off.
Sorry, that's one thing that shifted up a little bit from ATK. When Bowden was on the team, you would often see him going for opening duels and trying to get the space for his team, which Wolfy did in that previous round. So it's very reminiscent of the old style of play for ATK when Bowden was there. But now with Jonji added in the mix, he's the one who tends to be facing off first. So, yeah.
It's interesting that this has been the default for MIBR, right? The 1-4. Because most of the time when you see a team play a 1-4, what they'll do is they'll take banana control and put a player up on the half wall or jiggle peek from car so that they have a little bit more time to fall back and stall before the engagement comes through. But MIBR, they're not doing that. They're just trusting Exit to hold this all on his lonesome so that they can play this stack. We've seen it in 3 or so rounds right now. And it is very interesting. It's a bit of a risk, but now it's going to pay off. ATK are not prepared for so many bodies to be here. Turtle strikes first. The ops on the line. I think ATK needs to cancel right now, but Swisher's gotten in a pit. Swisher's in the mini pit.
Nice shot from Wolfy.
Oh, do they know Swisher's here?
I think
they're
so.
looking for it now. He's got 1 kill. But is he going to stay alive? No. Can't deal with Insani. The trade is there. This is going all the way down. It's left to Wolfy. He's got an isolated fight on site. Exit's on the other side of the map, and he should know that based on positioning, that Exit has to rotate in. You can see he's wary of the arch peak, but it's all about this duel with BRN. Up close, clearing its corners. BRN, he's heard the footsteps now. He's got the angle, he's got the idea, and he's got the shot as well.
Well done. Well done from BRN. Another 3K racked up to his name. He leads the server with 12 frags now. And it all started with this onto Rec, right? He makes sure that he can't get any further. And, of course, afterwards ends it on Wolfy. 5th round found for MIBR. And, you know, I like the idea of the 1-4 they set up. Yes, like you said, a lot of teams decide to go for the aggression and fight it, but MIBR drops all that utility every single round for Exit. So they put him in a position to throw a ton of smokes and nades, which means that the other team has no idea how many players are there. It could be an army or it could be one guy. So it's a very effective strat that has served them very well on their matches of Inferno. And I mean, to think, like, a couple of years ago, it wouldn't be possible to run it like that, right? Because you couldn't drop nades before.
We're going to take top of A, and a little bit of a chase up here for Henny. He's under threat. Insani, though, on the line, securing it for his Opper, keeping it to B. And this one's all comfortable. A moment there, perhaps, for Henny, who's gotten run down. But now, plenty of reinforcements to make sure that is not going to be the case.
Yeah, and it's okay for Insani. He gets 3 frags, does go down, but ATK walks away with nothing. So well done for MIBR. We are all knotted up at 6-6, but ATK are going to bring the rifles on out again. And we'll see who decides to go for that first fight and how ATK approaches this round in particular. They've tried going up banana. They've had mixed results there. The A site has been shut to them, I would say, for the most part, because of the way MIBR likes to set up, but they're mixing things up now. Look at this, 3 players sent down towards banana, and this is where, if you're ATK, you're like, okay, they've been setting up 4 players at A so often, let's try going to the B site. But you never know. Like I said before, how many are here? And Wolfy gets the opener, though, on top of logs, takes down Exit, second frag will go the way of no one yet, but BRN is now down through the wall. Wolfy connects for a second, and that has to trigger ATK to go to the B site. You got 2 players down early on. A rotation needs to come through, and it's only Insani left here.
I shred the defense. This is Wolfy having major impact. He spotted the elbow just a little bit wide, and that was enough. That was enough to send MIBR to ruin. They will know that there's a 3rd player there at least, right? Because of the utility that was getting tossed out. So that's why ATK didn't just immediately try and collapse in towards B. Instead, they know they've got a minute on the clock. They have a 5v3 here. Let the last little drams of utility come out, be coaxed through. I hope there's something in reserve for Insani, but I don't think there is. So there's not going to be any util for this. And Jonji's just taking B.
Yeah, they have to go back to B now.
You
There's still
would
time.
think. Jonji's got all of this. He's calling it. Yeah, they're going to bail out of the bedroom. They're going to say, you know what? Yeah, yep, okay, we'll take the free site. Players are going to stay here for the hunt. There's a bit more danger on the cross than they're anticipating, but the bomb is around the corner. And Wolfy's even punished the first attempted foray back into this. They're still going to compete for the round, but there's a smoke. That was the important part. Smoke had to land with it. It's over.
Insani's going to try and get away here, but ATK are in such a good position on the A site. There's nowhere to go. You know, MisteM's coming through into library. Insani is just going to hold the angle. Doesn't hear MisteM because MisteM's been stealthily walking up this entire time. And MisteM wins it. That's it. Everyone taken down on the MIBR side, and ATK, just like that, are back to their winning ways and into the lead. Wolfy, just phenomenal job, right? I mean, he gets the opener, gets the second as well through the wall, and then a third to boot. Just nothing doing for MIBR, as a timeout is again going to be called by MIBR, their second of the map.
Trying to get things under control here early. This bodes well for the series right now, because some of the things that we were seeing early on in the series last night against Pain, they're not here, right? There's none of these mistakes late into round. Like, some of these, it's mostly just been MIBR playing well in the rounds that they've seized. So it's a pretty well-called game from ATK right now, pretty well-oiled as well, which is exciting, because we haven't necessarily gotten this level of consistency from this 5 yet. Reminder, halfway through this season, ATK made the change to bring in Jonji and Wolfy because they weren't getting Bowden back in. They weren't getting, the DJ wasn't working out the way they were hoping. So this is a very fresh roster. They have been playing together for, what, half a month at this point?
I think a little more than that, but yeah, around a month at most.
So, the more we start to see issues get ironed out, the more encouraging it gets. We've got another USP stack here for MIBR. The question just becomes, will ATK ever win this? You know Jonji's going to look for it.
Of course.
One-man wrecking crew is Jonji.
One thing I liked about that previous round, and it was Jonji, just looking for information at the B site instead of just completely committing to going for that A hit. Say, okay, one player, we can afford this. Go and check out what's happening there. If no one's there, then we've got an easy site, and that's exactly what happens. So you're going to see kind of the same thing here. Wolfy left behind, just holding the angle at B, but...
I don't love that. He's got utility to keep himself alive, but I never love leaving the off alone against pistols. That's going to be really interesting. If MIBR decide to collapse down Banana, there's a chance to get an op. Which, out of this round, if you kill one and get an op and survive, that is great success.
We'll see if they even move once the bomb is planted. Obviously, they didn't invest anything into the round. Just the kill bonus that you might not want to give away to the other team, even though it's only going to be $300 per person, or per frag, I should say. But they could funnel down Banana. This is where it gets scary for Wolfy, but he's gone. Yeah, he backed off. He knew what was up. And he's got the reinforcements, like you said. And it should be an MIBR meat grinder. Word, and it is messy, and now it is. There we go. Insani, last one standing, and it's done. And a TK.
Jonji even puts down wreck.
Why?
There you go. They got 6 kills. 6 kills in the round for ATK. Around, guys. All right, back in. There we go. Got a little excited there in production, but one more round of play. See if ATK can build themselves another 9. It's not perfect for MIBR. Most importantly, they don't have a kit, so retakes are going to be tough. But based on the way these rounds have been going, we actually haven't seen a lot of retakes. It's kind of been decided usually in the first foray. Speaking of first forays, ouch. The BR round. But Henny. All right, here we go. That Hall's peak, it's worked before. It works again. Wreck down. He's the lurker for this side. So that's going to take away a lot of ATK's ability to exert pressure here on A. Looking to bring one back. It's Turtle and the Boiler, who could be vulnerable. And that flashbang is lethal. Insani never had a chance to even see his opponent.
Yeah, that's one area that Jonji wasn't necessarily responsible for in the past. He's done really well, and Turtle's going to take down Jonji, though. I mean, despite the spot that Swisher has, that will give the numbers advantage to MIBR.
Yeah, it only works if you get the kills on site because it controls the rotations. Without that, it's actually limiting Swisher's ability to have impact here. He's going to move up. Sets himself a lurk smoke to move. He can loiter. Turtle's kind of got him stuck. But what they're trying to buy time for is this push down banana. Wolfy's watching for it. Just put them on notice. Realizes there's another player there, and that's a big kill. And the follow-up as well. MisteM stepping up. Captain of the squad when they needed it. Bomb down. Post plants confirmed. I don't know if Wolfy actually spotted exit here. But MisteM certainly watching the angle. Won't get the kills, though. All onto the op now. Wolfy, he's ahead of that flashbang. Exit's not prepared for it, but the shot goes wide. And the P250 finds home. 9-6, the scoreline in favor of ATK.
A phenomenal recovery there from ATK in the round. It looked like things were going to start tilting MIBR's way, and Swisher's advantage quickly disappeared once Jonji goes down. But, I mean, MisteM the 2K to open up the site completely, and ATK take a 3-round lead into the second half. We'll be back after this break.
Don't speak for a couple of weeks. I'll be in his place till he calls and says he's sorry. This situation's on repeat, just like a scratch on a CD. It just gets deeper when you hit rewind. How many nights will you make this decision? Nights ending tears and it's blurring your vision.
A 3-round lead for ATK as they head into the defensive half of their map pick. MIBR, we're looking good for a long time there, but couldn't quite keep pace in the waning moments of the half. Is Wolfy not here? This round's not live. Wolfy's not here.
Well, yeah, they need him. And he was actually the player I was going to highlight, Mike, because he really performed well with the AWP. We mentioned that he was a little bit MIA, and that's an understatement on the CT side of Mirage, and even the T side just didn't really get it going. But last night, he showed us what he had on Anubis in particular, and I think we're getting more of that, Wolfy, which is phenomenal news for ATK. And Swisher was mentioning in the interview that we had with him last night that Wolfy actually took some time off, right, and wasn't warmed up yet, to the level that he had been in the past. So he's trying to do that now.
And I can understand it, right? You know, he'd been over into Europe for a time. He'd played into that Ecstatic roster. He'd played into Fnatic Rising, right? He'd sort of been around the world. And coming back into this, it's a reemergence back into Counter-Strike. But there's a lot of knowledge, and certainly we know there's a lot of mechanical ability, a lot of skill there.
Yes.
But yeah, I mean, last night and throughout his tenure on this team right now, he has not looked to be that same world beater he was during his last America tour. And now, if he's starting to gain that confidence, if he's starting to gain that momentum, if he's starting to gain those early frags, those early kills, that bodes very well for ATK because everything else is starting to heat up. Everything else is starting to hit. That op presence coming online, and they're right back to their strongest form.
Yeah, I mean, he was one of those players that was putting up numbers similar to what Junior has done over the last 2 seasons, back between season 34 and season 36. In particular, season 34, when he was with the Russian Canadians, that one's the most memorable in my mind, when he had a plus 109 kill to death differential and a 1.21 rating. So he has the ability to perform at a very high level with the AWP, and I think we're starting to see inklings of that come back.
Yeah. I mean, he certainly does. I liked it. I liked the aggro peek. There was one round where he goes and just peeks the top divider, basically solo, catches the kill and falls away. I mean, it's maybe not the smartest way to play every round, but just the willingness to go for that confidence peek, it's great. Because on the defense last night was where the big issues were, right? Very static, especially on Mirage. I know I'm harping back to that. They wound up winning the series. He wound up actually performing very well for the last 2 maps. But if we're looking at potential vulnerabilities here for ATK, I'm curious to see how they're going to be deploying him on the defense. Because it's not just the shooting, it's, you know, moving around the map, it's calling your shots, it's taking your moves, taking the initiative that you start to do more of as you get more comfortable within a team. And that's maybe what we're highlighting. Because, I mean, look, 3 rounds is no real deficit to MIBR. They've got the explosive power. When you're looking at MISTEM, you're looking at BRN, you're looking at Henny to just really blow open the doors to some sites and close this gap before you know it.
Yeah, I would say that Wolfy does thrive when he starts to get a little more aggressive. Not too aggressive, obviously, but enough to actually take the fights and challenge a little bit, which he wasn't really doing at times yesterday, playing very passively, standard angles with the AWP, and that's not where you want him. You want him to be mobile. Like you said, the movement's really important for him, and we'll see how it changes here on the defensive side of Inferno.
We should be hopping back in the server in just a moment. I'm not sure exactly what happened there. I'm going to guess Wolfy just DC'd, but we needed a little bit of a match medic to get things back to that pistol scoreline of 6-9. So we will be just back in a moment. Thank you for bearing with us here, folks. It's an exciting top 3, I think. A representation of really the top 4, right, has been a representation of what the scene has looked like now for a few seasons in the ESL Challenger League, right? We've had these 4 battling it out, and some have risen above. Pain in particular was riding very high for a while. MIBR's had their moments, but as we're seeing here, EG in that upper bracket final, it's very topsy-turvy. Everyone has had their opportunity. Everyone has had their chance, and it really has been these 4 butting heads and fighting to overcome each other for months now.
Yeah, and I think AG Black in particular, right? They're a team, that roster has been performing really well at this level, but they themselves haven't gotten the chance to prove them that what they can do at the Pro League level because EG has that main roster that plays there. Perhaps that will change.
It was an interesting note. I don't know if you saw the interview with Valens, but apparently they've discussed promoting the entire EG Black roster as they're assessing everything that's on the table, which, you know, I think for that team, Dallas, IEM Dallas is going to be a bit of a do or die for their existing roster because they honestly probably shouldn't have been there. They get a local hero invite spot, which doesn't involve any ranking, doesn't involve anything of that nature. but it's on home soil. It's in North America. It's going to be their last event of the season. They got nothing else. They're not qualified into Blast. They're not qualified into any of that. And they have had abysmal results. So if they go out last again with that main squad,
it might be done.
Look, I'm just saying there's a team right here who's in the grand finals of an event who are a heck of a lot cheaper and have been a heck of a lot more effective recently. Why not give them a crack? And I think that may start to become the philosophy in the main EG camp as well.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with that sentiment. So we'll have to see how it goes, right? But I'm excited for that EG squad. I think like Walco in particular is a player that didn't necessarily get that shot to go to the top at any point. And I want to see him perform potentially at Pro League. And I think that he could do a lot. He's a great IGL and at least give him the opportunity.
It'd be interesting to see. It certainly would be interesting to see. I'm very curious, whichever way this goes, either ATK or Pain, both have been teams that have, or sorry, ATK or MIBR. Both of these have been teams that have caused EG fits and starts before. But, I mean, that latest triumph over MIBR is enormously promising. And we really should be back in here in just a moment. I promise, folks. I'm watching the ticker go through.
Me too.
I can see the little bot. But it does feel like EG is taking that next step as well, right? They've had some time together. They've had some time to gel as a roster. The trip over to Melbourne wasn't necessarily what they were hoping for, but there were some promising results there. And I don't know. Definitely an interesting one to watch. For ATK as well, this round, a pistol round. We didn't even get to it, but the Pro League spot is so massive. Not just for these players, but for the org as well, because their contracts end right now in the player break, and having that Pro League spot on the horizon is going to make it so much easier for the ATK organization to make a compelling case to these players to stick around and build this project. Wolfy under pressure. Slid out. The Molotov doesn't catch him, but he can't get the kill. He does indeed, actually. Turtle into Graveyard. Not where you expect to get to, but none of his teammates are going to be able to join him. The bomb is down, and despite all this positioning in Mini Pit and Graveyard, or in Pit itself, I love the idea. You just needed the mid thrust to get something done.
And it didn't. Both players went down towards mid for MIBR, and after that, ATK just piled on the frags, didn't really lose a body. And they now do indeed have the 10-6 lead, which was not correct in the previous round because of the match medic, but now it absolutely is. And they hit double digits for the first time for a fourth consecutive map. And the great thing for ATK is that they weren't winning the pistol rounds yesterday. It was mostly Pain. This time, I mean, if they win pistol and they play the same way they did yesterday, oh my goodness. It's going to be tough for MIBR, but they have that talent. And look, they're going to get their gun rounds coming out soon. I feel like on the T side in particular, they can be exceptionally explosive with Insani at the helm. BRN as well, of course, who loves to take those first battles.
Just depends on how much you're trying to dig yourself out by the time you get there.
That's true.
Aggressive posturing here from ATK. It's actually MisteM taking point as well. It's not Jonji, which feels a little unusual. They gain this base. And MIBR aren't even being allowed out of spawn. This is crazy. It's not often you see this is the skirmish line.
Yeah.
Right, this is... It almost feels like MIBR is the one trying to defend, and ATK is trying to plant the bomb in spawn.
It's crazy.
What's happening here? Well, they're trying to make money with the SMGs. It's what's happening. The one rifle will survive, though Wolfy was the one to falter. But that is a lot of cash made, and never a chance for MIBR to make something on this round.
Yeah, that was, I love the aggression actually from ATK, right? They're getting into the face of MIBR saying, we're not scared of you. Even on these pistol rounds, we are going to come after you and take away all of the map. Like literally everything was under control. Alt mid, banana, mid, MIBR could not even leave their spawn. So ATK up to 11. Now MIBR will get the rifles out though. 4 AKs to Galil, a little limited on utility, but still plenty of it to go for an execute here, potentially towards banana, but they're only sending one player there for now. They're going to push through that smoke. Rek tosses the nade. It's probably going to split the difference, and it does, so no one gets hit by it. But Rek pushes out with a great flashbang thrown by MisteM, and now, well, the trade is there, and Insani looking for another, and it's actually exit to find Jonji. Oof, that's tough for ATK. Need a second. Maybe MisteM can deliver. No! Here. Look at the damage, but Swisher could be the one to get it, and no. Oh.
Because of that extra HE, they knew the player was here. They knew that he was stuck. That's a big kill to find, though. If that lack of awareness, if that hadn't processed, it was big trouble on. So this one, it's way closer than maybe you'd like if you're MIBR, just if you're looking at the health bars. But at the end of the day, you've got 4 alive. This bomb is going down, and Wolfy's just trying to save. Yeah, it was a bit of the bonus round.
Yes, it was.
But the economy is so brittle on the CT side, you'd love to get a bit more out of that. Even if it's just kills on the SMGs, right? To give you some money going forward. So, ATK... I mean, Swisher can buy. Wolfy could drop a FAMAS, I guess. Rek can buy here. Jonji's comfortable on towards an SMG. So I think you're probably going to get investment in this next round. But it's not going to be ideal. Rek could actually drop an op.
Yeah, they're going to buy.
Yeah, definitely doing that. I'm just kind of curious about which way they take it. If they get the op up early. If they put that as a point of emphasis.
I mean, Rek could get the A1S from Wolfy, but I think that MisteM needs a drop, so you probably see the rifles. Oh no, MisteM goes for the MP9, so we could see the op. Realistically now, Rek deciding what he's going to do. Are they going to call a timeout to talk this over? Not investing yet. They might be discussing it here, and there it is. Yep, op gets dropped there for Wolfy. He's proven that he was very effective on that T side with it, and now they want to see what he can do on CT side. Buy-up is still pretty good, and yeah. B-side it is.
On a banana. He doesn't typically play here, so maybe they're trying to catch him off guard. They might not think there's an op to begin with. They might not think it's going to be here. If it is, these nades, good to soften up a couple players. But it's a lot of utility gone. ATK does not have a lot remaining. But a Wolfy, he's just revealed that AWP. He's just caught them off guard. They were not expecting that to be here. And so you can see MIBR immediately recoil, reassess, rethink about this. What do they want to do?
I mean, look, if Wolfy's going to continue to hit like that, then that lets Swisher go wherever Wolfy might not be and do the damage that he's been doing over this entire playoff. So it gets a lot more potent for ATK, especially on the defensive side.
Is there a flashbang for this? They might think the op is shifted off. The bodies are still here, though. MIBR doubling back into the site. There needs to be utility to push them off the corner, or they're going to be hurting.
There's a flash coming through almost certainly here.
One would think, but sometimes players like to jiggle to set up this first nade. Flashbang there. Yep, and it hits. Wolfy doesn't land the shot. Players are out of position here. Jonji's in the back of sight. They're showing presence. Sonic's going to clear this. Looks the wrong way. Jonji, only one. MisteM down as well. This is now looking okay for MIBR. Wolfy, a little bit of desperation, but the bomb is down. That he can't deny. Swisher on the banana flank is going to be key. Because Rek's a bit locked out. He's just trying to spam it to make life difficult. But he needs to close the gap now. Let's get close. Fight with his teammates, and he's re-smoked. Just trying to play the angles. Good use of the utility. Rationing it out. There is a kit. It's on Wolfy. The first kill. That's the healthy player. The remaining 2 are around half. Exit. Threat taking the initiative here, and with that kill, they seal the deal. Wolfy just trying to escape. I'm not sure any of them are making it away from this bomb. I think they're all going down with the ship, and I think Exit is perfectly okay with that.
Yeah, I mean, it's more costly for ATK than it is for MIBR there, and that is a very great post-plant hold by MIBR. They didn't have much utility left, but they used it perfectly to burn off almost half of the bomb timer, and by the time that Swisher finds that frag, I mean, ATK have to put the pedal to the metal, so the low HP of the last 2 players doesn't matter as much, and I mean, they hit the shots. Wolfy, I mean, a parting gift by getting both those frags. Unfortunately for him, he doesn't save the AWP, which was more valuable than finding the damage. I mean, that said, still the economy is not going to be that great for MIBR. On the ATK side, you do have the Mag 7 bought up from Jonji, and he's playing towards banana. He's trying to be cheeky with that.
He needs a kill to justify it.
I think he's going to get one.
Shot goes wide. He got one. He gets one. All right. Okay. Requires a little extra air, but he has certainly justified the purchase. A Zeus for Rek. Goodbye, Rek. That's a gun found. All right. That's as far as ATK is concerned. Holding on to it a little tougher. The bomb's here. Okay. Just a little bit of spray battle. Why not? Insani BRN can keep that okay, but there was a moment there where it was a bit in doubt for MIBR.
Yeah, that smoke went down, which really helped, and MIBR just spamming it. Eventually get both through the smoke, following the tracers back and forth. But yeah, I mean, with the bomb needing to be recovered and brought back to the B site, if Atk gets a little bit fortunate and finds that frag, then MIBR would have been in a bit of trouble. But it is all good for the Brazilian squad as they pick up their 9th and cut the lead down to 2. But Atk will be back on a semi-good buy-up. You know, you got 3 FAMASas here and 2 M4s. Utility is decent, and everyone has armor.
Famoose. Famas. BRN's sounding the smoke right now. We're looking to play on the fade. Let's try and catch a player. Ahead of the utility, but Jonji will win the fight. Cost him a good chunk of health. But the numbers are what matter at this point in time. Is this a double haul setup? From Swisher and Wreck, I believe it is. So they might have a fight with Turtle coming out of the bedroom.
Jonji got the AK.
Will indeed. Turtle gets the first. He's able to stay alive. This is so important. His kill on Swisher, that would have been massive for Turtle. Would have opened the A site right up. As it is, instead, MIBR are going to have to commit. Trying to take this top banana control. Is there a flashbang? There is potentially time to get everything on this flash. There's the contact. Jonji takes one. Flash is late. Jonji, it can't keep him alive. Getting one in that position does keep the advantage for his team.
Only 30 seconds left. Is MIBR going back to A with
Util's
this
gone.
little time left on the clock?
Yeah, Swisher's starting to get the comms. They're not committing through. There's one Molotov here, 20 seconds. We know that MIBR don't mind playing late. But Swisher's taking a good spot here in Graveyard. Right? That Molly's presumably going to be committed deep pit. It's just not going to be time to clear this. And indeed, puts them on a line, knocks them both down. MIBR, this has been a problem for them throughout these playoffs. Running out of clock.
Yeah, and actually for Atk, it had been a few times early on in the playoffs, but they quickly remedied that, and we didn't see it at all in the first half. So good on them. But for MIBR, I mean, you got 30 seconds left, no information towards the A site. You already had a bit of activity at Banana. Might as well try to go to that site instead. But they go for the full rotation, and when you leave yourself under 10 seconds, once you get to the bomb site to try and plant the bomb and clear out all the angles, well, it's simply not enough time. Even them trying to clear a boiler, I mean, they should have just gone straight in and give themselves even that little 2-3 more seconds to try and figure out where Swisher was. But I mean, the Graveyard position is so strong in that type of situation, and you saw it with Swisher taking out both with ease. 12-9 in favor of Atk. And now MIBR, I think that was a timeout called by them, and they're deciding what they're going to do. The decision is for Spy.
Nobody's good enough to justify it. It's a bit of a risk, but that loss bonus is mounting here. Might be a bit of a faster play. Look at the setup initially. They are really anticipating aggression coming through. They're holding for a bedroom peek. All the way to the bottom hole mid. And honestly, these Molotovs might encourage their line of thinking. I don't know how I feel about the MIBR being back out for Jonji here at the bottom of Banana, but sure.
It's fine.
Pray it's not a retake, Jonji.
No, he's good. He's good. He's going to get a frag, upgrade to an AK. Everything's going to be beautiful.
Maybe.
The MIBR.'s never a bad decision on Banana.
He won't get the AK because it's Exit, his counterpart right now. Just has the Tech-9.
Yeah, Tech-9's good too.
Takes coming in from the other side of the map. Past the smoke. MisteM has to reposition. He knows it. Knows they're likely to try and chase him down as well. Good spot from MisteM. He's around the corner. What's the initial foray? He can fall back towards site. And MIBR, they weren't positioned to immediately capitalize on this. So they're a little bit slower to chase because they weren't planning a split B.
That's still a lot of map control gained by MIBR, right? And Atk has no information now into CT nor bracket.
It's huge. It's huge. Ooh, big find, though. Tips the hat as to what MIBR were hoping to achieve here, and you get the kill. Rec lost is a bit of a problem. But Swisher will immediately rectify. And time, 15 seconds. Again, a massive issue. If this bomb goes down on short, no one else is going to be able to do anything about this. Why are they? They're still fighting bottom.
The bomb isn't even close.
What is happening? Do they even have time?
No.
Wolfy, no, they've lost it to the clock. MIBR, a little bit of a head scratcher in this one. Look, good damage. Without the bomb plant, with the players surviving here, getting no loss, it's a really tough spot. That one's a bit of a head scratcher. Maybe just lost track of the timing, but that's now 2 rounds in a row where the clock has been a sixth enemy for MIBR.
That one was worse, I would argue, because MIBR had the edge and they just needed to activate, and they took too long to do so. If they activate a few moments sooner, then they win the round and it's done. But another problem was the bomb was on, I think, Henny's back, and he was all the way in bracket towards Arch, and then he wraps around lane to try and get back to the site. He didn't even have time to plant the bomb. Then he gets the opener here, and the follow-up. There we go. He's got the AWP, and in fact, this is just saved over from that previous round, and there are upgrades available for the MIBR players who are charging up. This is looking great.
There's no smoke for the cross. There's no smoke for the cross, but they get away with it, and Insani, rewards them. Wolfy missing that opportunity. He's not going to get another one. He's got to back away.
Wow.
So what a way to make good on your mistakes in the last. What a way to course correct. Henny just brawling with that op. Knew he had to take the initiative in this round. Knew that that was the one thing they really had going for them, and he delivered and then some.
That was just an aggressive peaks too. I think ATK perhaps underutilizing the utility.
John, this is such a big problem because the money is putrid for ATK. This is a huge swing. Henny may have just changed the course of this entire map.
It's true, because there weren't many. In fact, only one surviving member, I believe, for ATK from that previous round. That was MisteM.
Health.
And okay, they get a couple back.
They
and
do.
The economy's not great for MIBR either.
Well, it's fine, right? Because it wasn't a full investment. It was an eco on the players who didn't save the guns.
Yes.
So they're A-okay to keep rolling. Well worth it to try and take these defensive guns out of their hands.
And he made that feel like a full buy. Just the way he played here, that was impressive stuff.
It was indeed. Going to be a bit screwy on the economy here. But they'll manage to get a full buy up. Actually, much better than I expected. Meanwhile, on the other side, we've got the op that lived. What do we have around it? Not much. Not much at all. Where's the op? Over towards B initially, but just to dump some util and now shift over. They're going for the stack. There was some presence in towards the apartment, so Wolfy's trying to get on the angle here. But he might be here in the next time. Oh, it's not a kill.
No, he legs
It's not a kill. Catastrophe. And now Exit can take the fight. Pressure on off the util. There's a stack in boiler, but having seen the op, having dropped the op, now MIBR is going to flow back the other way. So at least the op can be retrieved here for Swisher, but he's got the right idea. He's actually shifting over to support his teammate to bring it in to help Jonji. But MIBR, that's got lots of time. They do not need to commit this any which way.
Jonji's one of the few players that's still running the CZ, and we saw him use it to great effect yesterday. It's a great pistol to have when you're on the move, and he made it work so very well, especially on Anubis. So we'll see if he can have impact once more here, and looks like MIBR are going to double back to A. The op is no longer here. It's at the B side, which actually might be good news for ATK, given they didn't really have that much into this round, so saving the op again
No one's checking.
would be great.
No chance. Oh, the turtle. Good awareness not to get overzealous, and now any chance of this being around should be done. Swisher, he gets a kill, but you're absolutely right. He needs to get out of here. 2v4. I guess because of the timing, they're thinking this might be a possibility. If they drop the bomb, oh no. Oh no, MIBR.
Oh my goodness.
You can't lose at the clock. These smokes can't fade. If these smokes fade, they're in so much trouble. Jonji's done it. What is happening? No, not like this. MIBR, no.
They can't
Plant
get the bomb. They can't
Plant
get
the damn bomb. Oh, they've got it. 1 second to spare. Oh. MIBR. Not known for their time management, and they almost set up for a collat. Okay, they're gonna be thanking their lucky stars. MIBR fans around the world just breathed a massive sigh of relief, because that should have been the surest of sure things, and MIBR nearly nearly fumble the bag.
They had half a second. They had half a second to get that bomb planted, and if they wasted even just a little bit more time, it doesn't happen. Jonji, I mean, I told you, with that CZ, he actually makes a case for it. Every single time I see it in his hands, you know, he gets another 2K. That was so close. MIBR just couldn't grab the bomb. They couldn't get it back in their hands, and now ATK are on a full-on save. They're trying to charge down the middle. Jonji gets taken down. Exit finds MisteM. And, I mean, yes, Swisher loses the op, but you have to go in that situation. And Sonny gets
I mean, you do once it's suddenly not a 2v4 anymore.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wild.
If he hit that shot, too, and made it a 1v1.
I thought they were going up the collat, frankly.
It was close. It was close.
All right, well, we've had a whole round to get over this.
Yes.
So breathe in, breathe out. And MIBR, because they're so clean in the next, it's like they can forget about it. They can forget it. Put it out of their minds. It didn't matter. It didn't matter. Maybe talk about that one when you're doing demo review, coach. But for now, you'll let them get away with it. They just needed to raise Bit's heart rate a bit.
And his blood pressure.
Fight. Back so fast. Swisher eats that flash, trying to set up his own utility. Now A is under siege. MIBR have massively picked up the pace, and this was so unexpected. Players in pit. First one down. Goodbye, Wolfy. They know Rex here. They know he's somewhere. And pit's the only option left to him. So nades sailing in. They barely even need to fight. Jonji, the kill on the periphery. And Rex catching Turtle. Does mean that this one at least can't get a look, but that's a tough one.
Yeah, I mean,
that's a tough one to ask.
Good for MIBR to get to the bomb site with more than 10 seconds left. That's nice.
Also true. They say, you know, look, we can't run out of clock if we hit in the first 30 seconds, and I appreciate that adjustment.
Yeah, it's actually a really good time to call it because ATK had gotten so comfortable with MIBR waiting and waiting and waiting, and they say, you know what, they're not going to expect this at all, and they absolutely don't. It'll only work one time, but MIBR deploys it at the perfect opportunity. Jonji can find himself a second here. No, he doesn't. He'll go down. Exit finds him, and MisteM at least going to save the A1S, but money is still a problem here for the ATK side. Yes, they have a little bit more thanks to that loss bonus, so we could see a half buy, but we're tied up here in the waning moments of Inferno, and MIBR are very much poised to take a lead. Jonji decides to invest in the scout. We'll see what he decides to do with that. Maybe it's for Wolfy. I don't know, or he just wants to try something.
I think he'll keep it himself. But I mean, this is the worst place to be in as a CT side, right?
Yeah.
Trying to regain that CT economy while your opponents have a full head of steam, while they have at least a buy, maybe two in store. Tough to regain. It's why we see so many games go long. And Jonji's already out of play, so that scout not getting much. It was the only A presence. BRN nearly burns himself, but he's able to get away.
Gamble for ATK. On to B. If MIBR comes this way, it could be very spicy, especially with the A1S in the mix in MisteM's hands. But MIBR back to their slow and steady, methodical play. And this is where, if you wait down to the last 20 seconds, it can be exceptionally costly because a couple of 5.7s become AKs when there's so little time left for you to get on that site.
They're going to commit into this. ATK are ready to thank their lucky stars. Still so much time left, though. As soon as they detect presence, they can bail. If they figure out it's a stack, it's going to be a little tough to discern, right? You got MisteM setting up a flashbang for his pistol players. That was the hit. What kind of Molotovs do we get? That's a perfect one. Ruins the setup. Wolfy has to bail out. Oh, he's actually going to body block Wreck into death. He was flashed, so he didn't realize it. Oh, no. Well, that's a non-starter. Pusher's last position known. Plenty of time to deal with him. It was likely going to be the case anyway, but... Oh, that Molotov, that one Molotov onto the oranges. Hooks.
He didn't even know. Wolfy had no idea. They were both blinded. I mean, Rek was just trying to get out, and yeah.
Talk about using your utility, man.
It was perfect, and they didn't wait until 10 seconds left. So, you know, and with the Molotovs thrown so well, ATK couldn't do anything. Well done for MIBR. And okay, guys, don't try and squeeze through the door at the same time. Swisher and Wolfy having to both back off, and they finally make their way into the A site. nade's going to sail in. MIBR have now tried to pick up the pace immensely here in towards top of Banana. Exit's already got this spot. Jonji had to fall off because of a triple nade that was tossed his way. Exit looking into coffins, and they're going in again fast, Mike. This is very smart from MIBR.
They're going to be past any of the choke point util that would be dumped. They're going contact. Oh, there's the spot. Now he knows. Molotov's late. MisteM's got the one. He didn't get the comms that there's a player pool. He overextends. That's a little awkward here, and so advantage. I would have said MIBR, but they might be canceling here.
Yeah, they are.
Because look at the control that Turtle's got. He thinks someone's gone down mid and is flanking out his teammates. He might just misses this timing on a Swisher. This is getting really weird in terms of the positioning that Turtle's found and the information that he both has and doesn't have.
Advantage is kind of gone for MIBR now, though.
There's been time to reset here for ATK. They're spread out there, a little isolated, but the bomb shifting back over. Turtle had the site clear. Hopefully he doesn't trust that because that's very stale information at this point. And John.
Time.
Yeah, time's starting to become an issue here for MIBR. We've seen it cause problems. 25 seconds. They have no info towards site. Swisher. Man with some hero plays. Difficult for his teammate. Now he hears some footsteps and spam on. What have they seen? I don't know, but Swisher still wins the fight. The bomb could be planted. Wolfy can't deny that, and Rex not close enough to play off of his teammate yet. But still, oh, that's a mistake. That's a blunder. Having missed the first opportunity, trying to make the move to reposition. He had time. Could have gone all the way back out of library if he wanted, but didn't want to lose the initiative. And now it's Rex on his lonesome.
He's got no kit.
He's going the long way, and even if time weren't an issue, Turtle's holding this line, and he's got that shot every day of the week. Map point found. MIBR, one hell of a recovery into this map, and now they just need one of the next two to close.
This was looking so good for ATK, and I mean, they've still got a chance maybe to come back into this one. Money is okay because of that $3,400 loss bonus thing, since this has been a ridiculous win streak for MIBR. But, I mean, I'm surprised we're even looking at this scoreline with how many blunders MIBR have had on their T side.
Well, those blunders have still netted them 6 rounds in a row.
Yeah, it's crazy. They're lucky. Oh, look at this start from ATK. Swisher and MisteM. Oh, no. Swisher walks into the Molotov. Didn't realize that he was so low. And Exit gets one from the grave.
Late spread just tickles his toes. That's enough. The numbers evened up. And the thing is, yes, that initial foray was good for ATK, but look at how much of the utility it cost them. They didn't have much coming into this, and it's gone. There is a single smoke remaining on Rec. 1 HE. That has now been thrown. So, it's going to be MisteM or bust. Straight off the guns. He's just going to make it happen. And we're likely headed for a retake.
They saw him.
They did. He's going to be pushed off here. Likely utility, either Molotovs or smokes, to back him off of this angle. But it's all about this flank. Look at this. Jonji and Rec are flying into this.
Yeah.
If they get stalled at all, could be bad. They'll make their way around for a bomb plant. That's all but guaranteed. So it does fall for the post plant. Numbers is still up. A little bit of harassment damage. That's a big kill for MisteM. Finding his angles through the smoke. Another one falls. All onto Insani. What do you got, Insani? They're chasing him down. Back a new box. No, Insani might just do it. 6 bullets left in the gun. No health to spare. He needs the headshot, and Rec will close. ATK barely just cling to this round.
Insani's ridiculous on Inferno. This is just what is happening. Look at that. I mean, just by the edge of the Molotov, Swisher goes down, and Insani, I thought he had it.
They saved the op, but the money's gone. The money's gone. What are you going to put around this? This is another difficult, nightmarish round.
Well, it's the same as the last round, technically, Mike, right? So, I mean, they made it work previously. They're just going to have to do it again. I agree with you. It's not ideal, though, because they had to lose so many bodies just to secure that round. But at the very least, they're happy that they made it to round number 30.
They get the chance to fight. See if they can bring us to overtime, and they're going to risk it all. How would you expect this? How would you expect this? Somehow they're ready for it, and it's working out for ATK. No. Numbers even. Now the positioning is terrible. Insani, though,
No,
not
Insani
expecting
had no
another
idea.
to be here. What is happening?
They don't
There's
have
no one
bomb
on
yet.
B. Chaos. Pandemonium. Discord. And ATK. 2 kills away from overtime.
I love that call for MisteM. Oh, what a ballsy play.
To say the least. Talk about taking the initiative. Still a lot to work with here for MIBR. Gripping up for the B take. There are 2 players close at hand, but they're not on site proper, so this smoke make life difficult. Surprised that Molotov from Wolfy didn't come out. He just wants the fight. He just wants the shot. He's going to lose it, so now all of his nades have gone to waste. Jonji fading the smoke, but there's just no flash for him. Oh, and they're ready for it.
No.
They're ready. They knew Jonji was still alive. They were prepared for his kind of play. It's all under wreck. This round has fallen apart, and MIBR might just seal the deal here and now. Up on his angle. There's just no getting past this. Henny miss these very often, and this time he won't even wait for Rek to come around the corner. That is quite the coup for MIBR. They look down and out 13-8, the scoreline. And the run back is just monstrous.
Yeah, an 8-1